So I hope that you're excited for my top 5 Degen altcoins to pick up in this bear market. Number 5 is going to be an incredibly super dirty, super degenerate, complete gambler move that is more than likely going to net you $0 and in fact probably take all your money. But if it succeeds, it is more than likely to net you 1,000x. Ever since the crypto markets have taken a steep decline on this channel, we have taken a more conservative approach, making sure that we are educating about all the things blockchain and the blue chips, talking a lot about what they are. And also, I believe that the blue chips have enormous upside potential with very limited risk because they have proven track records with huge upside potential even from today's price. But this video, I decided that I'm going to reach out and tell you guys about my inner Degen side, because I know that you guys are curious about the Degen picks and things that I'm looking at during this bear market, that yes, they are extremely risky with extreme high potential for reward. So if you're a Degen or at least have some Degen soul in you, this video is for you, my friends. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and let's get into it. Before I tell you these 5 Degen picks, I'm gonna get into just kind of how I'd classify this during the bear market, because the classification between blue chips and medium caps and small caps and micro caps, I approach them quite differently during a bull market and a bear market, right? And that's because the blue chips, you have to look at the things that are way more established. And these are going to be medium returns with quite low risk. And these are the ones that, in my mind, already have very high market caps, have very large and engaged communities, big developer communities, and proven adoption and track record already. There's only really a little bit more than a handful of these that exist out there, right? These are the ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, polkadot, Solana. These are really the blue chips, right? And then below that, you get a layer of what we're going to call right now, let's call them like next gen. These are the ones that I feel like we're right on the very tip of breaking out enormously and creating huge developer ecosystems and mass adoption right before the bear market hit. So we're talking about things like Near Protocol, Arbitrum, Algorand, any of the layer 2s that came out. Again, this is a Degen video, right? So we're gonna talk about the top 5 Degen projects. And now I would classify this Degen section into 2 different categories. Now, again, this is different in a bull market than what it is now. So in today's market, I would say that the Degen things are the things that we are not really sure they're gonna survive during this bear market, and things that have maybe some sort of established kind of track record, community engagement, things like that. But it's much more risky. So I will give you 4 projects I consider in this category, and then at the very end, the 5th one is what I consider extreme Degen, right? And this is like brand new with a very, very, very small community. Maybe it has an MVP, maybe it doesn't. But what I will say is that at least if I'm going to tell you about something, and at least if I'm going to buy into it, I'm going to want to make sure that I have some things checked off that give me some hope that this is going to potentially be a great project that just still has to prove itself, right? And so when I get to number 5, I will tell you guys how much upside potential this has and why I decided to include it on this list. So let's start. I'm going to talk about Pokedex, guys. Now, Pokedex, the reason that I'm talking about it is because I am very, very bullish on the Polkadot ecosystem. As you may or may not know, if you don't know, I am incredibly bullish. It is, in my opinion, everything that Ethereum 2.0 wants to become ready today. Pokedex is the furthest along when it comes to actual development, and they have an amazing product that you can use already. What I want to do right now is tell you why I am quite bullish on Pokedex as far as upside potential. So Trader Joe on Avalanche is the leading DEX, and the all-time high market cap was 555 million. That is a 37x from Pokedex right now. And just to also give you some context here, the circulating supply of Pokedex is about 37% of supplies. Now, Serum, the leading DEX on Solana, its all-time high market cap was $1.2 billion. That is an 80x from where Pokedex is today. And the circulating supply on Serum is a very tiny 3%. So that has a lot of inflation still to come. Cake, right, from Pancake on Binance Chain, The all-time high was 6.75 billion. That is a 450 times from Polkadot's current market cap. And Pancake has 19% of supply circulating at the moment. And finally, Uniswap. Now, it is my personal belief that once people understand what Polkadot is, the fact that it is basically, Ethereum 2.0, but working today, and the fact that Gavin himself, from one of the co-founders of Ethereum, built Polkadot, I think people will start to understand the power of it with interoperability and security, which is super important, right? If you want to build a DeFi platform, it's probably not a good idea to go do that on Solana right now. But if you want to build a game, go ahead and build it on Solana. I think that it's just too early for the amount of security. So let's compare Uniswap, right? The leading DEX in Ethereum. The all-time high market cap for Uniswap was $22 billion. That is a 1,467x from Polkadot's current market cap. It's tremendous, right? It's tremendous. And the circulating supply of Uniswap is 45%. Polkadot is one of the best blockchain ecosystems in the space, right? With some of the highest developer activity and the most developers building in that ecosystem. So the leading DEX right now is way behind the other leading DEXs, even at today's market cap. Next, guys, we're going to talk about cornucopias. If you're not new to the channel, you've probably heard me talk about this a few times. Now, why am I so bullish on cornucopias? Because it is a purely Cardano-based metaverse and game that you can easily compare to something like Decentraland or Sandbox using Unreal Engine 5. And in fact, the graphics are absolutely insane. If you don't know yet, go check out their YouTube and just see all the in-game footage that they've been putting up on their trailers. It is incredibly impressive. Now, this combined with the fact that Cardano hasn't really had its big kickoff yet, where it's fully rocking and rolling, of course, there's going to need to be all of the same leading kinds of ecosystem plays that are on other layer ones like Ethereum or like Solana, right? And so far, there hasn't been a leading metaverse play on Cardano that has taken its spotlight. And in my opinion, if anything is going to succeed on Cardano, it's going to be cornucopias. So Cult Dao right now is incredible, and I will make another video coming up very, very soon. I have made videos about Cult Dao before on this channel. You guys, if you were watching, then you will know it was another video of like this top 5 picks or whatever back in February, when it was just a tiny market cap around like $300,000, and then had this wild ride up a few weeks later to $170 million market cap or whatever. And now it's come down with this bear market, correcting to about a $63 million market cap as of right now. So Cult has a cult-like community. I mean, very, very engaged. And it has a certain degree of memeability, which is always a plus in crypto. But more importantly, the most important thing is that it has this incredible token economic model where essentially all it has to do, Cult Dao, is continue to transact. And what it is, it's an investment DAO, essentially. And so it's investment DAO that supports disruptive and decentralized founders and projects. All it has to do is continue to transact volume, because as on-chain taxation, that continues to fill up a treasury, and then that treasury is used to invest into projects, and those returns are used to buy back Cult tokens, burn them, and redistribute them to anyone who's staking Cult. So literally all you have to do in Cult is have Cult tokens, stake them, and you're getting a portion of the profit that is being generated from these investments. Now, the beautiful thing about Cult is that we all know, those of us who understand the economics behind it, all know that the end goal, where this is heading, is to an extremely limited circulating supply. So we can see here now on this chart here that the max supply is 6.66 trillion tokens, but already a bunch of them, like 1.7 trillion about, have been burnt forever, and there's a bunch more that exist in the investment treasury that have not been released yet. And so, yeah, this is the circulating supply that's left over. And over time, this circulating supply just gets dwindled down and dwindled down and dwindled down. And on the next video I make about Cult and Revolt is the next one I'll talk about, I'm going to lay this out in a fashion where this gets extremely interesting, right? Because right now, as it stands, the average investment that Cult makes into a project is about $20,000 with the current Ethereum price being where it is. So see, when Cult invests into a project, it invests 13 ETH worth every single time. Now imagine when the price of ETH goes up to $20,000. We're talking about $250,000 investment into the investments it's making. That turns into a really good bull run. You get some crazy 50x returns, 100x returns, and all of that, or 50% of value, is being burnt on Cult tokens, and the other 50% redistributed to you if you're holding and staking Cult. But this is also Revolt, and I'm making, like I said, another in-depth video about Revolt, as I am extremely bullish on this, and the economics are what make it so special. Keep in mind, right now, retail engagement is down like 90% from what it is in a bull run. So when everyone comes back and they're looking for the next SHIB, I really think that they're gonna look for Cult, and this is why I am incredibly bullish on both Cult and Revolt. And guys, the last one, I consider this, remember, the extremely filthy, disgusting, gross, degenerate. Like, this is like, you know, if you've got, you know, just big quijones in this one, this is for you, right? This is, you know, from time to time, people will send me really new tokens, and most of the time they're crap, and most of the time I buy some of this crap and then it goes to zero and I lose everything, right? But this is also how Cult was shared with me, and I take them all seriously, at least investigating into it and looking what it is. So today we're going to talk about white Ethereum, and this is something I alluded to on my Twitter last night. So if you are not following me on Twitter, make sure that you do that, because that's going to be one of the first places that I can actually post updates about what I'm looking at, what I'm interested in, or what I'm buying, whereas it takes me more time to make these videos. I am going to be firing up my alpha channel as well soon. So if you're not following me on my alpha channel, Kyle's Crypto Alpha, I'll put the links in the description below for the things that we talked about in this video, as well as my alpha channel and my Twitter. Make sure that you're following me on all of these. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you're hitting the bell notification, because if you would have been doing that when I talked about Cult the very first time, like, that was life-changing money. It did over 250x within the month, basically, me talking about it. When I discovered white Ethereum here, it was about 13 days ago, and I wanted to, well, first of all, I did go buy some of it at it was about $150,000 market cap, but I didn't want to talk about it or tell friends and stuff like that until I dug in a bit deeper. And so I did, and basically you can go and try this out right now. And what is white Ethereum? So white Ethereum is essentially Tornado Cash, but Tornado Cash, but decentralized, and with a better token economic model. So right now, the current market cap is sitting at 1.27 million, and that is the fully diluted valuation. So the way that this token actually launched was they added 100% of the token supply to Uniswap when they launched it, and they added some of those tokens to the to lock the liquidity for at least for 1 year. So liquidity is locked for 1 year, and they also rescinded the token contract, so they cannot be any kind of shady business with the token contract. That's no longer anyone. That means that no one has access to upgrade or change the token itself. So white Ethereum, the rules that are programmed in that token contract will always be the rules, and there's a 5% tax on transactions here, and that goes to things like marketing, refilling the treasury, and also gives some flexibility for this to grow as it becomes more established. The promising is to become a competitor or a better version of Tornado Cash. Now, if you're not familiar with what Tornado Cash is, whenever someone gets a hold of a significant amount of cryptocurrency, normally what they'll do is the first thing they'll do is they go to Tornado Cash. And what that does is it mixes in like the stolen Ethereum, for example, with a bunch in a huge bucket, right, with other Ethereum. And then they're able to spit it out on the other side, along with, you know, to maybe different wallets. But what it does is it allows you to lose the trail, and you will have some Ethereum pop up in random wallets, and you won't be able to tell where it came from. So this is also good for privacy. You can imagine a lot of traders who want to create new wallets, and they don't want to send, you know, Ethereum from their own personal wallet to this new wallet. It's good for so many different reasons. Why this is, again, the whole reason why we talk about privacy, protecting infrastructure within the cryptocurrency space, because there's a reason why three-letter agencies like the FBI and DEA love Bitcoin. They love Bitcoin because Bitcoin is way easier to track than, let's say, cash. I believe that it's important for tools to exist for those who have good intent to be able to have the peace of mind and the ability to have private transactions if they so choose, or to create new wallets with privacy, things like that. So I wanted to make sure that I at least tested out the app on white Ethereum before I brought this to you guys. And this here says DApp launching soon, but the DApp has already launched, and you can see this roadmap right here, which is quite robust. And they plan on doing a lot of cool things with it. And it's in the it's a very primitive early days of this project. Like, it's just launched a few days ago, and well, I guess a couple weeks ago now. But the beta of the DApp is up and running. I used it, it worked. And when I asked the developers, because I've been messaging with me, if you go in the group, they're very responsive and reactive, and they seem quite kind and like very eager to help out. I'm not saying that, one day that these guys they didn't buy all the tokens early and exit one day and just, leave the project. That could very much happen. Again, this is why this is extremely degen, but they have a robust roadmap. And at this point, they were able to produce an MVP that works. So that to me is a good sign that there's something here, right? Like, that actually shows that there's been effort put into it. And in fact, to me, it seems like they would be crazy to not continue doing what they're doing. There's way more upside potential for them to continue to build this out and make it better than just trying to exit anytime soon. So again, there's quite a few things that led me to believe that this was good, right? Rescinding the contract, 100% of the tokens are already circulating that will ever be circulating. That is also an amazing thing. The MVP is already ready to go, and the developers are communicative and really great. So what can we compare this to? Well, right now we can see that the market cap is approximately $1.35 million. That is also the fully diluted valuation, right? So, and you can see that as of the time of recording, we had a nice little pullback here. It was almost a 2 million. It actually peaked, I guess last night, slightly above a $2 million market cap. But let's go look at Tornado Cash. So the circulating market cap of Tornado Cash all-time high was about $145 million, right? Which is about 72 times from where white Ethereum is right now. But what's interesting too is the circulating supply, the percentage of supply circulating from Tornado Cash is quite small, only 15%. So if you take right here, the all-time high price of Tornado Cash at $436, and you multiply that by the total supply, this will give you the fully diluted valuation. Now remember, 100% of the tokens from white Ethereum are circulating right now. So the $2 million valuation is literally the fully diluted valuation, which means there's no more inflation to come into the market, unlike Tornado Cash, which we can see another 85% of the tokens come into circulation in the short to medium term future. Now we're going to multiply this 436 times 10 million to give us a fully diluted valuation of $4.36 billion. Crazy, right? So again, at a 1.5, actually it's only $1.3 million fully diluted valuation right now, you can see why, even though I am cautious, optimistically cautious about moving forward and telling you guys here, you have to do your own research here and make your own decisions. Do not buy this thing because I've bought it. Do not listen to what I am saying. If you, yes, I mean, it just, you can't do that, right? So this is just me sharing my opinion about something that I am doing right now. And I'm not by any means telling you to go out and buy white Ethereum because you're likely, more than likely, you're very good chance you're going to lose all your money. On the flip side, there's a very good chance that you potentially could make a royal fortune too by coming into this thing. So that's for you to make a decision, right? And do not invest more than you're willing to lose, and that you can lose without having a dramatic emotional state involved with it. So this is something I consider extremely risky with extremely high potential for upside. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the top 5 degen coins to buy in this bear market. If you've done your own research, of course, first. And stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because I've got a lot of really good content coming up. I hope that you enjoyed this. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.